Now I'm gonna get straight to it. Shout out to my underdog immortals. It is definitely the God, triple ones. Owners, 13. Everything happened for a reason. Especially if you are anointed and been chose to be on the front line of this spiritual war. Everything happened for a reason. So always have an overstanding, even if you have to take down notes, learn from every experience, because God came down to experience itself. I know it seems hard, and I know it seems impossible when you're going through all these obstacles, but the reality, as I said before and I'll say again, it's only you stopping you. And I know it can be confusing. That's the reason why you have to raise your vibrations up. When you realize that you are a reflection, see, I had to really admit and take self accountability for me creating my own misery. Because we all do that in certain ways. Am I saying the enemy outside of yourself don't exist? That's not what I'm saying. But the biggest enemy is you. See, just like when you playing that video game and you making it to those next levels, each level it gets harder and harder when you're dealing with the AKA so-called bosses or the masters of the hardest characters, the bosses of, you get what I'm saying, of the level. Then you have to beat them and go on to the next. That is what this life is about. Me personally, I do believe that these fallen ones, these evil ones, these archons, these evil reptilians, these negative Palladians, excuse me. See, they trying to attack my throat chakra. Evil Palladians, the Greys. I can go on and on because there's so many different, what we would label uh, extraterrestrial beings, which may even be terrestrial, if you get what I'm saying. But not to get too deep, with everything that's going on and the illusion of voting as if you have a choice about something that was already planned and put in place. And excuse me if you may hear some things in the background. The wind is getting windy. See, they're trying to stop this message. But just know everything that you go through is a test, and you are the real character in this movie, and everything else is artificial. Just look at it that way. When you're playing Mario, maybe that wasn't the best example, but you get it. For those real ones, they understand. Now, as I try to multitask and drop these videos, I could keep complaining about all the unfairness and all the tampering, this and that. But the truth is, this is a test. I'm going to rise. I'm going to make it to the top. You're going to rise. You're going to make it to the top. But this is not for the weak. You were thrown in a, excuse me. See, they trying to stop the message. A concrete jungle to figure out who you really are. If God is everything, then what are you? And that's a strong message. See, even those monitoring ones, the ones that monitor and watch you and stalk you and have a obsession because you are the real ones. That only happened to those real ones, famously known as chosen ones, because only a few are chosen, but many are called. You were destined to rise way before the fall. Now, if you want to pay attention to the politics and listening to all the BS and all the, you know, archons and wizards and warlocks coming with their bag of tricks. And that's just my opinion. See, you have to have an understanding that there's a lot of distractions placed upon your life to distract you and derail you off that train to success and ascending to the next level. I'm not speaking monetarily, but you don't have to be a poor righteous teacher either. You know, we all need certain things and like to live comfortably. And I'm speaking to the hard workers, the hard researchers, the ones that get out here and do the groundwork, the loners, but sometimes have to blend amongst the crowds, try to blend in. See, when you have to realize that everything happened for a reason, even the mother that you had, the father that you had, your nationality, you know, some say we chose to come here. We chose our bodies, that we were already spirit beings. So once you realize this artificial world that we live in, the simulation, is all a test. And this is why we have to have discipline too. I know I have to work hard on a few things, but I have, you know, overcame a lot of obstacles in my life, and I know you have too. And I'm speaking to you. Now, if you want to pay attention to the Trump and the Kamala and Biden and all this and that and whatever else, you got to take the news with a grain of salt and always understand that it's much worse than they put on the television. 5, 10 times worse, etc. And maybe this is the reason why people be hating and trying to, you know, suppress the views and certain things. I'm just speaking my point of view. I thought it was a such thing of freedom of speech, but they censor you because they don't want certain things for you to speak. Triple. And I can speak about a lot of different things. I don't like to just talk about, you know, world events. I like to see how you're doing and what you're going through. If I could lend some advice, all you got to do is send a positive message, you know. Talk to me, I'll talk back. But if people don't have nothing to say, and I guess it is what it is. I made this content, you know, to reach out to the real ones that may be going through things like me, because you're not alone when you're feeling like you're alone. And by now, the real ones already have an understanding about that. So when you think life is just getting to be too much, and people are bullying you or picking with you, and you seem like you having bad luck all the time, you have to do some self-reflecting and see where you're doing wrong at. See what, you know, you may be, you know, things that you may need to work on. I have to do it myself. Sometimes I get angry, sometimes I get mad, and I have to realize that's what the devil wants you to do. He wants you to get upset, wants you to get mad and go out and do something dumb so you can end up in a whole nother situation and derail you from what you was designed to do. COINTELPRO, you know, spy agencies, they know who them real angelic beings are. This whole structure is set up demonically and all by design. How you gonna free yourself or free anybody else when you can't even free your mind? Give me my flowers while I'm here. And that's for any real truth speaker. Even question the teacher. You know, take everything with a grain of salt. Even things you hear from me or whoever, do your own research, do your own self-homework, do your own due diligence about things. And if, like I said, if you a deep thinker and you think about celestial things and things that's beyond this world, it's because this is almost like the imitation world. And what we would call spiritual is like the real world, so to speak. Some people even think that our real bodies is somewhere plugged up to something, like the Matrix showed. Plug in, plug out, get it? And some researchers even believe what we call spirituality is actually what they're labeling alien. It gets real deep as you explore the rabbit hole. See, they've been trying to, stop the messages for the real ones. Don't get sidetracked about everything that's going on. You have to spend a lot of time by yourself, even amongst many. Because when you by yourself, that's when you start to communicate with the universe, communicate with God, because God is everything. That's the reason why we go to work and we do certain things. It takes you outside of yourself. Even voting, hey, if that's your thing, do what you do. It takes you outside of yourself, keeping you dependent on others and not being dependent. Because remember, it's all about the people. The people is what create this. The people is what work. The people is what go out here and grind and make things happen. So never put all your trust in one man, one woman. But I'm to end the vid on that note, man. I'm just speaking to those real ones. And if you like this content, if you already subscribed, share it, or subscribe if you're not subscribed. Check out the content. Check out all the short feeds, Support the real ones. Don't let these monitoring spirits, try to punk you and intimidate you. Deep down, they're afraid of you. I'm speaking to those real ones, those real anointed ones. You hold the power of the universe in your palms. They know who I am. They know who you are. So yeah, they gonna hate, but once you link in with like-minded individuals, they try to stop you before you even get started. They have no soul. Matter of fact, they heartless. And I'm not talking to you, I'm speaking to them. I'm out. Triple ones. Owners. 13.